Allahu Akbar.
I didn't mean for everyone to leave.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Before I will start, my talk, the talk of Sister Yasmin reminded me ayah of Surah Taghabun, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تَعْفُوا وَتَصْفَحُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. The Allah is reminding us to pardon, to overlook and cover up the mistakes of your family. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Because you are expecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Ghafurur Rahim, to forgive you. That's why He is asking you to pardon, to cover up and forgive your family. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that tawfiq. Now my session is a little different. And I'm going to give you, as a doctor, if somebody comes with me with a cancer, I'm not going to give him Tylenol. Okay? I'm going to treat him what he really needs. So my topic is very different today. And I'm going to start first with the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which he said, this deen has started as gharib, stranger, and this will become stranger and gharib, ajnabi again. Some of the scholars, they have done the interpretation, which is really, if you will listen, this might disturb you so much that you might lose your sleep. If you look at the ummah today, I will ask you, is our salah has become a stranger or a gharib? No. Masajids are full of people who want to pray. Is our umrah and hajj has become gharib? No. There are so many people who want to go, but they cannot find the tickets to go for hajj. Is our som, fasting has become gharib? No. The thing which has become gharib, Maulana Maududi rahmatullah alayh has written preface of a book on Seerah of Naim Siddiqui. And look at what Maulana is saying. Maulana says that if you read Quran without focusing the main focus of Quran, reason of Quran, Quran is nothing but collection of words. And that focus of Quran, the goal of Quran was to establish this deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Maulana says that if you read Seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you read it without having the focus why Prophet was sent in this dunya, then this is nothing but the collection of stories of old time. And now I will share with you ayah of Quran, Surah Ash-Shura, famous dua of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Rabbi habli hukman wa alhiqni bis salihin waj'alni lisana sidqin fil akhirin waj'alni min warasati jannatin na'im. And I'm not going to go detail of all these ayahs, but let me focus when Prophet Ibrahim is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me the company of Salihin. Maulana Hameen Hassan Islahi Sahab and Maulana Maududi has written tafsir of this ayah, this portion, that the people who have qalb salim, the righteous people are the one, not only their focus is to have company of Salihin in Akhirah, they will not get satisfied until they gather Salihin around them in this dunya. So their life in this dunya is focused to have a company, society, community of Salihin. And that can only happen once we understand that our responsibility, and I really sometimes feel very scared that we will face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are getting distracted from the very important focus of our responsibility. Maulana Amin Hassan Islahi Sahab has written a book in which he says, you know, all prophets, their job was to establish deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the responsibility of Ummah. And if we will not fulfill this responsibility, not only we will do the sin of our action, if community at large, humanity at large, goes astray, goes in the wrong direction, even that sin and responsibility will come on the shoulder of Prophet, on the shoulder of Ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you know, I see everything is important. Salah is important, Som is important, Hajj is important, learning Tajweed of Quran is important. But all this is to get me ready for a bigger goal and bigger focus and bigger purpose, bigger reason of me being here in this life. And I'll just give you 4 practical tips that how we can do that. If you want to be among Inna Nahnu Ansarullah, if you want to become the friend of Allah, Nahnu Ansarullah, then the quality of Nahnu Ansarullah is the focus, their ultimate focus is to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you will stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiya, fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. That is my ultimate goal. But my practical goal is path, road, that I want to make sure I make intention in my life that I will use every faculty, every energy, every wealth Allah has given me to establish deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this earth. Just this intention will count you among Nahnu Ansarullah. That you will be friends, you will be the soldiers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter where you are, it's a global world. You can help if somebody is trying to establish deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Bangladesh or in Pakistan or in India. You can help them sitting right here in America, even in the very remote village of America, my brothers and my sisters. And I'll give you 4 tips. Number 1, we can do this by individual character and dealings and behavior. This is number 1. Number 2, my brothers and my sisters, we can do this through our lifestyle as a ummah, our festivals, our practices, and our occasions. And I'll spend 1 minute on this point, because this is very important. As a Muslim, as a ummah, this is our responsibility that our occasions, our marriages, when somebody dies, people should know how we celebrate, how we handle any hardship and difficulty. There should be a difference, obvious difference. These are Muslim, this is Muslim marriage, and this is non-Muslim marriage. This is how they bury their, loved ones, how they, handle the pain and suffering. Our occasions, our festivals, our Eid, Hajj is coming. We should have open houses in masajid. Even you can invite your neighbors to your home. That Hajj is coming, and Hajj is not about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hajj is about father of all the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salam. So we have one common ground to discuss with them. So these should reflect, our deen. Third is social engagement, activism on social front, well-being of society. Ibn Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi says, until and unless, this is a tip for dawah, until and unless you will assure your audience that you are their well-wisher, even Jibreel alayhi salam, if he brings wahi, you will not be able to convince them. That's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did for 13 years in Makkah. He made everybody in Makkah to understand that he is their well-wisher. He is on their side. He will stand with them in all situations. This is the tip, my brothers and my sisters, that we have to work on social front through social engagement to make sure we make every American know that we are their well-wisher. We are on their side. We will stand with them. So that's how that is the saying of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah has put a window in everybody's heart. If you will touch that window, that person will open up for you. And that window is the language on a human level, not based on religion. Religion comes next. On human level, if you will knock that door in the heart of a person, that person will humble, that person will melt in front of you. The third area that we have to work on is to build institutions. Building institutions like schools, hospitals, some research institutions, so we can introduce Islam. This is Islamic school. This is Islamic hospital. If you go in Jordan, you can ask anybody. The best school in Amman is the school run by Brotherhood Brothers, Ikhwan Brothers, Mustashfa al-Islami. If you go in Jordan and you find the best school, everybody will tell you the school run by Ikhwan brothers and sisters. So we want to set that example even here in America by building institutions. The next is not only that we want to build institutions, construction of society. Construction of society is helping society to grow, helping brothers who can make laws for the welfare and well-being of the society at large in this country. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remember the story of Yom Sabt, that three categories of people. The one who survived was the one not only that they were doing good deeds themselves, but if they were seeing anything going wrong in their community, they were trying to stop that bad thing as well. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us, and this is all ICNA is for, that to help us to understand the focus of Quran, the focus of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And wallahi, if Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have come just to do umrah and tawaf and do hajj and do salah, then Abu Jahl was helping him there. But his focus was La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, to establish this kalma and deny all the false gods and establish deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.